Hello, Bodhisattvas of the Earth. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. I hope this finds you in good health and secure. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Helps grow our Sangha. And let's dive right into Letter to Nikke by Nichiren. He continues, becoming a Buddha is nothing extraordinary. Becoming a Buddha is nothing extraordinary. Why would he say that? Well, because becoming a Buddha is simply becoming aware of Buddha. It's already the energy of life, the formations of everything, all phenomena, of which you and I are, right? Amalgams of. Well, it's already happening. It's only in your mind that you're not aware. If you chant Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Nichiren continues, with your whole heart, commit, right? You will naturally become endowed with the Buddha's 32 features and 80 characteristics, right? All of the learning, all of the self-teaching, all of the ideas of Buddha-ness, the clarity, the momentum in this into the next moment of instantiations of potential, all of those characteristics we assign to the attainment of Buddha-ness. How can they're already happening. The only thing that you and I are doing is, hello, right? Paying attention, awakening that mental facility. It changes everything only by virtue of perception, yes? As the sutra says, quote, hoping to make all persons equal to me without any distinction between us, end quote. That's the words of Shakyamuni Buddha. You can readily become as noble a Buddha as Shakyamuni. The Lotus Sutra is the method by which he teaches all of us to do exactly as he did. That's what the teaching is. A bird's egg contains nothing but liquid, yet by itself this develops into a beak, 2 eyes, and all the other parts, and the bird soars into the sky. We too are like the eggs of ignorance, which are pitiful things, but when we're nurtured by the chanting of Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, invoking the law of formations, Buddhahood arises in our minds, which is like the warmth of the mother bird. We develop the beak of the 32 features and the feathers of the 80 characteristics and are free to soar into the sky of the true aspect of all phenomena and the reality of all things. Nichiren is being extremely clear here, isn't he? This is what is meant by the sutra passage that says, in essence, quote, all people dwell in the shell of ignorance, lacking the beak of wisdom. The Buddha comes back to this world, the land where sages and common mortals live together, the latter undergoing transmigration with differences and limitations, just as a mother bird returns to her nest and cracks the shell of ignorance so that all people, like fledglings, may leave the nest and soar into the sky of the essential nature of phenomena and the reality of all things. Which, you can say, yeah, but remember, he's saying this in relation to the other side of that is that the reality of all things in samsara is a collection of data, of possessions, of permanentizing. Whereas Buddha-ness soars the sky because it is unattached to the shell and therefore can perceive the ongoing activity of life, moment to moment to moment to moment. Knowledge without strong resolve describes those who are knowledgeable about the Buddhist doctrines but have no strong resolve. These people will never attain Buddhahood. Those of a strong resolve without knowledge may lack knowledge but have a strong resolve and can attain Buddhahood. This is not merely my own opinion. It is stated clearly in the Lotus Sutra. In the second volume, the Buddha says, quote, "Even you, Shariputra, in the case of this sutra, were able to gain entrance through a strong resolve alone, not because of any wisdom of your own." Remember, Shariputra was considered the most well-read, the most knowledgeable of all the bodhisattvas, the students, the Shravakas, right? Men of learning. And yet, that's not what got him to achieve Buddhahood. Being an intellectual doesn't mean you know how something works. I can't tell you how many stories I could relate to you of all the engineers that I met working in the petrochemical industry who couldn't find their butt with both hands. Lowly little me with trade educations. I did some college. I graduated high school with honors. I wasn't stupid, but I didn't have the money to do what they had done, and yet I could run circles around them because of applied knowledge, right? Hands in the grease knowledge. A commitment, in other words, to know, not just words. This shows that even Shariputra, unsurpassed in his wisdom, was capable or able to attain Buddhahood only by embracing and firmly resolving his mind in this sutra, Myoho Renge-kyo, and that his wisdom alone did not enable him to become enlightened. If Shariputra could not attain Buddhahood through his wisdom, how can we ordinary people with limited knowledge of the doctrines dare to dream that we may attain Buddhahood when we do not have a strong resolve? Sounds interesting. Yeah, Buddhism, that's interesting stuff. You know, they say this and they say that and they say that. Great, just more entertainment. You're just playing. Do you know with your heart and mind that Buddha-ness, whatever your words tell you it is, you can actually experience because it's going on and you're not paying attention? It's like standing in the wilderness, drying out without water, dying without water, because you refuse to turn around and look over the hill and see all the water running through a beautiful, clear river. You don't hear it, you don't smell it, you don't feel it. You know what a river is. You know all about it. And you know, standing out here in this desert, that there's a river. You might even hear it a little bit. But you don't believe it. You're not committed to finding it. You're just musing about it. Well, you're going to die. If you're committed to it, and you pay attention to the signs, and then you go and you drink of the river, right? The experience, not the words, not the knowledge, the experience of it. That's what we do when we chant. We awaken that experience. The Buddha explains that people in the latter age will be arrogant, though their knowledge of the doctrines is trifling, and will show disrespect to the monks and priests. They'll neglect the law, and thereby fall into horrible paths, the lower paths. If one truly understands the Buddhist teachings, one should show this in one's respect for those who are accomplished, in study. So it's not about disrespecting knowledge. It's about the experience of what the knowledge, right, the finger's pointing to, the application. I've always said this, even before I was a Buddhist. Often people would tell me, wow, how did you learn how to do that? I don't know how you know how to do that. My response was always the same. Anyone can do this. Everything in life is a matter of application. Shakyamuni Buddha is not among us now. So you must respect the teacher with enlightened wisdom as you would the Buddha himself. How then could you not receive rewards? If one wishes for happiness in one's future, one should renounce one's desire for fame and fortune and respect the priests who teach the Lotus Sutra as one would a living thus come one, no matter how humble that monk's station may be. Thus it is written in the sutra. Those who uphold the law are worthy of the greatest respect and dignity. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Because that's the key. Now he's going to rag on some other schools. The Zen school today generally violates the 5 constant virtues of benevolence, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, and a good, strong resolve. To honor the wise and virtuous, to respect the elderly, and to protect the young are recognized universally as humane conduct in both Buddhist and non-Buddhist teachings, But the Zen priests were, until yesterday or the day before, no more than uneducated rabble, unable to distinguish black from white. But now that they have donned priestly robes, they have become so conceited that they belittle the learned and virtuous monks of the Tendai and the True Word schools. They observe none of the proper manners. They think they rank higher than all others. These people are so insolent that even animals are better behaved. Nichiren's not impressed, obviously. The great teacher Dengyo states that the otter shows its respect by offering up the fish it has caught. The crow in the forest carries food to its parents and grandparents. The dove takes care to perch 3 branches lower than its father. Wild geese keep perfect formation when they fly together, and lambs kneel to drink their mother's milk. He asks, if lowly animals conduct themselves with such propriety, how can human beings be so lacking in courtesy? Judging from the words of Dengyo, it is only natural that the Zen priests should be confused about Buddhism when they are ignorant even of how people should behave. Ouch. They are acting like papillas, the sky and space-born devils. Understand clearly what I have taught you here, and continue your practice without negligence. Reverently resolute in the single sutra consisting of 8 volumes and 28 chapters. When you long to see me, pray to the sun every day, and once a day my image will be reflected there. Well, don't stare at the sun. That's not what he's saying, right? Have the monk who is my messenger read this letter to you. Trust him as a teacher with enlightened wisdom and ask him any questions you may have about the doctrines in lieu of me, right? He's my messenger. If you do not question and resolve your doubts, you cannot dispel the dark clouds of illusion, any more than you could travel 1,000 miles without legs. Have him read this letter again and again and listen attentively. In anticipation of speaking with you at our next meeting, I will conclude here. Respectfully, Nichiren. Now, he wrote this, according to the background here, 2 years before he passed away. So I'm curious if he gave Niike a mandala. It doesn't say anything in here about it, and I don't see any mention of it in the background. But, he was selective. No doubt because of his time and his he had to copy, write down the entire Lotus Sutra, chapters of the Lotus Sutra, let alone mandalas. There were no printing presses then. You didn't run off a copy off the computer, right? Everything was done by hand. So it's not like he had nothing to do. At any rate, that concludes that letter, that Gosho. A lot to chew on there, but, similar themes repeated in different ways, urging us to get out of our own way. We naturally are enlightened, but we travel in samsara with these huge blinders of thingness, and we don't allow that clarity of mind to guide us. And that's why he referred to the quote earlier, either in this letter or the previous, about a quote from the Paramitas Sutra, right? That you should take control of your mind rather than letting your mind control you, basically. That's what he's talking about. Your enlightened mind, your clear mind of understanding the way everything works, rather than your estimates of reality based on your collections of ownership of things which are impermanent. What are you doing, right? All right. I hope, and to mirror what he closed the letter with, if you have doubts, if you have questions about anything I've said or anything in Buddhism, in Nichiren's doctrine, comment section. Email me directly if you don't like the public forum thing. Sometimes it's not suited, doesn't feel comfortable. So email me directly, tlksylvain@gmail.com, yeah? I will respond. If I don't have all the answers, which of course I don't, you'll help me do more research. I will say something about it. It will be my years and years of study and experience I will share. Maybe it solves a great mystery for you. Maybe it expands it. If nothing else, I will direct you to some sources where you might find further information. But, generally what happens is I do the research, I share it with you. If it's a question that I think, wow, why haven't I talked about this before? That's a biggie. I'll make videos about it so we can share it with the whole Sangha. That's what the Sangha is for. All right. This is a short one today, but nonetheless, very insightful, very important. I hope that you're doing well. Please keep your practice strong. Continue to support this effort, this Sangha, right? The ebooks, any support you can give us financially, whether it's buying a book, buying an ebook, getting a mandala, or patrons. Become a patron. Go to Patreon. All these videos are available there as well. And occasionally I put documents up that I share there, as well as on threefoldlotus.com. I try to tie all these resources together, right? Like the podcasts are the audio of these videos. So you can download and hang on to those. Not so easy to download the videos off YouTube. There's all kinds of hurdles and so on. But at least the podcast you can download for free. Anything I can do to support your practice, to increase your confidence, to resolve doubts, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Keep your practice strong. Take care of your health. Be kind. And I'll see you in the next one. Right? Bye for now.